Ruby Souls is finally making its PC debut next month, June 11th. In fact, Stellar Blade PC release date features new boss fights, 25 ways that you can play Dress Up with Eve, because that's the most marketable thing about this incredibly forgettable game. Like, there was a bunch of different Souls-likes that came out last year, and I think Black Myth Wukong is probably the one that still has the most enduring legacy. And to be completely honest, outside of a few different subgroups and one specific corner of the internet, nobody really looks fondly back on Stellar Blade. Like, it had, for me, like, some people like that type of music, but it was one of the most off-putting aspects of this game, and probably a big reason outside of a deep discount as to why I will never play it. But I know for enough people, yeah, they're looking forward to this stuff, and as it sits right now, it's selling relatively well, but I've got concerns. Okay, I got some big concerns, because there's an awful lot of red flags, and if they don't get ironed out, that's going to be a problem. But the fact that they're already here kind of lets you know that simping for this game, I'm so glad I never did it to begin with, mostly because these developers, man, they just want to cozy up to Sony. That's all this stuff is about. You're very much simping up the wrong tree. But anyways, a PC version of Stellar Blade launches on via Steam on June 11th, along with a raft of PC-specific features. A trailer leaked by Sony itself has revealed. The trailer, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment on the PlayStation YouTube channel before it was removed, also revealed a complete edition of Shift Up's popular PS5 action game. As you'd expect, the internet captured the trailer, which we expect, yes, will be released officially soon. I'm pretty sure Sony has at least acknowledged it, or at least hasn't denied it since this leak and when you guys are watching this video. So yeah, it's very much coming out. The complete edition includes the base game and all DLC released so far for both PS5 and PC. The news comes over a year after Stellar Blade's successful April 2024 launch on PS5, which, if you recall, oh boy, there were censorship concerns during that time, and the developers coming out and saying one thing and fans ardently arguing the other, and then constantly giving the studio the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, the PC edition has, AI upscaling via DLSS, unlocked frame rate, Japanese and Chinese voiceovers, ultra wide display support, higher resolution environments, textures, DualSense support for haptic feedback, triggers, and effects. Yeah, it's all wonderful and fantastic and shit, but here's the thing, man. Stellar Blade pre-order is $60 on Steam, complete edition with the DLC and, the bunch of different costumes to put an Eve in, which will be rendered completely and totally redundant within hours of this game dropping. Via mods, it's going to be totally insufferable. Like, it's unfortunate, right? Because kind of at the end point realization of modding for, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I'm still enjoying the hell out of. It's a tremendous game, and now it's running fantastically thanks to modding on PC. But a lot of the quality of life and the gameplay changes, like there's a couple of guys still working around at it, and some of the general experience or gameplay experience features. There's a guy that has like a 17-point improvement plan. It's a lot of it is fantastic stuff, and I couldn't imagine playing the base game ever again without those improvements. Like, there's some good stuff that's going on there, but a lot of it is just, basically, make Tifa and Aerith. Sorry, I always default to Aerith, but Aerith, make them appear in certain stages of disrobing. I'm glad they're at least showing some restraint for Yuffie, who I think is canonically 15 or 16. At least Tifa is 21 and Aerith is 22. But I digress. You're releasing a game that isn't really that long, okay? That is, it's very much a single player experience. I don't know how much the DLC adds in terms of gameplay, but you're looking at a 20-hour experience, and you're going to be charging $80 for that. That's a bold move. That's a bold move, and there's a lot of people out there that are taking bets whether or not that this thing is gonna, it's gonna crush the rest of the competition when it comes out in June. I'm really not that sure, okay? Because here's what you get for $80, okay? Classic round glasses, ear armor, planet diving suit, okay? Fluffy bear pack drone cosmetics, planet diving suit, all of which, is going to be rendered redundant or just immediately unlocked via mods, which, okay. Downloadable content, yes, twin expansions, the DLC, the Nier Automata DLC, and Goddess of Victory Nikke DLC, and you get a free Goddess of Victory outfit for, I think that game or something like that. And yeah, even their their PC specs, it looks like it's going to be fairly well optimized, because the minimum graphics card that they're looking at to run this at 1060, like that shit's old as hell. And that was pretty reasonably priced and a reasonable performer way back in the cuts. So comparing that with what, like your big studio AAA releases, like your Ubisoft games requiring that buggy disaster that was Star Wars Outlaws requiring a 4090 in order to play it on very high. Like, all things considered, the specs could be worse. Then that leads to a problem. Now, because this is a Sony second-party release, they aren't fully implementing PSN integration. They're going to give you another suit if you want to sign up with your stupid account, which I thought I seen another report recently of somebody or a certain swath of, it was Russian PSN accounts just getting banned for some reason or another. They're just getting yeeted like that. Why? Because of individual infringements? No. We just don't like Russian PSN accounts anymore. So yeah, all of them are gone. So that's another reason as to why people are a little bit hesitant about throwing additional quote-unquote protection onto another platform, another level of accessibility, which is just more restrictions, obviously. But you have Stellar Blade blocked in 130 countries. What? Why? How are we getting to this point? We're doing our best to resolve most of it. Oh God, where have we heard this stuff before? This is the exact same shit that was going down last year. Oh no, we're just a little studio. We don't know how we ended up in this situation. Stop it. Stellar Blade's PC release will be restricted in 130 countries as the dev fights to have it lifted. Ahead of Stellar Blade's PC release in June, players have been greeted with a dreaded yet expected message. Some people won't have access to the PC release as it's region locked in 130 countries. The full list of countries that won't have access to Stellar Blade's PC launch can be found at SteamDB, with 6 countries, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Philippines, Russian Federation, and Vietnam, having no set price, while all the other countries outright prevent the game from being activated or purchased. The list includes, 3 unknown countries, AN, FX, and XD, and stands for the Netherlands, Antilles, and Dutch simply uses their NL accounts to purchase the game, while FX represents Metropolitan France, and XD is for Dubai. But again, players can just use their French accounts or UAE accounts respectively. Oh, see, like if you have a regular account that is banned, don't worry, you can just sign up for another account. What the fuck are we doing? The list of countries lines up with PSN's availability, despite the developer Shift Up previously saying on social media posts that PSN connecting is entirely optional and never required. Wow! Big shock. Sony is lying to everybody once again. But this wouldn't be the first time the game is restricted by PSN despite not actually requiring its use. Earlier this year, PlayStation added a PSN restriction to Horizon Forbidden West 10 months after its release. Yeah, they killed the momentum of Helldivers at the beginning of last year by trying to force on PSN restrictions and then going, oh, don't worry about it. We'll just backtrack on that. And then implementing it into the totally unnecessary single-player God of War game. But hey, it was only for the multiplayer of Ghost of Tsushima. Otherwise, you didn't need to sign up with your PSN account. See how scummy these guys are? Yeah, exactly. PSN requirements are pretty controversial among the gaming community, forcing Helldivers, God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, exactly. Needless to say, it's not a very popular practice, so why won't Sony let it go? Because they want control wherever you go. For as much as they might be seeming like, oh no, we are embracing and we love multi-platform releases, they still want control over your games. But that's not the only level of control that they want over your games. They also want Denovo, which is one of the most invasive, performance degrading anti-piracy software that can be put on a game that is, for every single time that it's implemented, for every single game, it has a negative performance impact across the board. But apparently, Stellar Blade PC reportedly can run better with Denovo than without, claims the developers. Shift Up is lying to you again. When are people going to realize that this studio doesn't like you? They just want to be in with the cool kids. With Stellar Blade debut on PC slated for next month, gamers should be happy that another PS5 exclusive will be playable on another platform. You should just be happy, bro, that the games are out there. But yeah, if they're going to be compromised and cucked ports, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has none of this dumb shit in it. No, the game's bad because woke, because they made Tifa's titties smaller. Fucking idiots. Not only will the game be region locked, but it'll even feature Denovo for anti-piracy measures. which is something most people won't be happy with given the tool's penchant for being a resource hog. But over on Twitter, developer ShiftUp has acknowledged the concerns about Denovo and region locking. We are closely discussing the region lock issue with the publisher, and they're doing our best to resolve most of it as soon as possible. As shown for the test charts below, the DRM has been hard-tuned to maintain the same average frame rate, and with even higher minimum frames in some cases. Mods are fully supported without any restrictions. PSN connecting entirely optional and never required. Both the PC and PS5 versions offer the same content. We will make sure that early buyers are never at a disadvantage for future updates. ShiftUp has also said the performance of Stellar Blade on PC with Denovo is better, and is honestly the first time I've ever seen this claim made. Yeah, exactly. The table below, yes, from ShiftUp lists Stellar Blade's performance with and without protection, which I don't buy. I don't believe it. Minimum frame rates are boosted. How? It makes no sense at all whatsoever, but at least, yeah, full mod support. So one of the first mods that's going to be there, getting rid of Denovo. I'm assuming that players will dissect this info, whether it's a real deal or once the game is out. And yeah, catch a ShiftUp in a lie once again, how they said, oh no, yeah, we're not being censored. And then when one of the very obvious costumes for Eve, it's like, here's what you were promoting pre-launch and here's what you delivered after launch. No, we made an artistic choice and we should just stop catering to gooners. It's almost like everybody who wants to go ahead and simp for this fucking game seems to forget that the developers are actively lying to you and have been caught in lies over and over again. But no, just because you like the look of the main protagonist, that you can't really, ever point specifically to any of the mechanics that are new and interesting. You just want to say that this is the way, this is what gamers want, when in actuality, gamers just don't want to get lied to, and they want to be presented with likable, relatable, repeatable experiences that have something to offer, not a bunch of pretty pixels and a bunch of, competent jiggle physics that are just going to get blown out of proportion by about June 12th. The modding scene from this is going to be ridiculous. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.